All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving deep, and I mean deep, into a topic that's, well, it's a total mind
It's
bender.
a fascinating one for sure.
We're talking about the intersection of quantum physics, those near-death experiences that people report, and get this, the idea that our reality, like everything we experience, might actually be, wait for it, a virtual
A
construct.
simulation.
Yeah, simulation. I mean, come on, how wild is that? You sent over some seriously thought-provoking research for this deep dive, so let's break it down. First things first, could our consciousness, the thing that makes us, be more than just our brains?
Right.
What do near-death experiences, NDEs as some people call them, tell us about, well, the possibility of an afterlife?
No?
And could our reality actually be shaped by consciousness, just like we control stuff in a video game?
It's true. The material you shared really gets into some of the biggest questions humans have ever asked,
Yeah,
going all the way back. But what's really cool is we're not just talking philosophy here.
right.
We're talking about real science, too, especially when it comes to quantum physics.
Okay, so let's start there with the science. You said that quantum physics, challenges how we normally think about reality. How so?
Well, one of the most basic things in quantum physics is the thing called the observer effect.
Okay.
And it basically says that just by looking at something, by observing it, we can actually change it.
What?
There's this famous experiment, the double slit experiment,
Right.
that shows this. You've got these tiny particles, and when nobody's watching, they act like waves, spread out.
Hmm.
But the second you try to measure them, to observe them, boom, they become a single point, like a little ball.
So it's like reality is waiting for us to decide what it's going to be.
It's a wild concept.
That's insane.
Yeah, it suggests that maybe, just maybe, our consciousness actually plays a part in making reality what it is, not the other way around.
It's not all predetermined.
Maybe not.
Wow. And this is something that a lot of physicists talk about.
Oh, yeah, tons. Even Robert Lanza, the guy behind biocentrism.
Biocentrism, that's right. It puts life and consciousness at the center of everything, not just as some random afterthought, right?
Exactly. Lanza's argument is that the universe isn't just out there, separate from us.
Okay.
It's actually our consciousness that creates the framework of reality, like what we experience as time or space, or even the laws of physics.
Hmm.
It's like a filter, and it completely flips the traditional way of thinking about the universe on its head.
So how does this idea that our minds shape reality connect to those near-death experiences we were talking about?
Okay, so.
We've got accounts from people who were, for all intents and purposes, dead,
Right.
but then they came back. And they describe some pretty crazy stuff that seems impossible, based on what we know about the brain.
This is where things get really interesting. A lot of NDEs have elements that traditional science has a really hard time explaining, like the out-of-body experience. People report floating above their own body, and they can even describe what was going on around them when they were, clinically speaking, dead.
It's not just that, though, right? They talk about these tunnels of light, meeting loved ones who've passed away, feeling super peaceful and connected to everything.
Right, and all while their brains are supposed to be, totally inactive. It really challenges the idea that consciousness just comes from the brain and nothing more.
So what you're saying is consciousness, it might be something separate from the body, like it can exist on its own.
That's what it seems to point to.
Yeah.
And that leads to the question of an afterlife, right? It's something humans have wondered about forever. And these NDEs, well, they give us something to think about.
For sure.
Some researchers, like Dr. Bruce Grayson, they've spent their whole careers studying NDEs.
Wow.
And they've gathered a lot of evidence suggesting these experiences are more than just like hallucinations or wishful thinking.
So there's real scientific weight behind this.
It seems so.
Okay, so scientists are taking this seriously, but how do they try to explain these NDEs? Is there any connection back to what we were talking about before, like quantum physics and that observer effect thing?
Some researchers think there might be. They say that under extreme conditions, like when someone's heart stops, certain quantum processes in the brain could be triggered.
Hmm.
And this could allow consciousness to, temporarily detach from the body and access a different level of reality.
Okay, hold on. So we're talking about consciousness, the essence of you potentially operating outside the body.
Right.
If that's even remotely possible, it makes you wonder, could we be living in a virtual reality right now?
It might sound like something out of a movie, but it's a question that some very smart people are looking into.
Really?
Think about it. If consciousness can affect reality at the quantum level and possibly even exist without a body, what's to stop it from creating entire worlds?
Whoa. So you're saying our consciousness, like our minds, could be the ultimate VR headset.
It's a fascinating concept, isn't it? And it fits with some of the strange stuff we see in both quantum physics and these near-death experiences. It changes how we think about the universe and our place in it.
Mind blown.
And it's not just philosophers talking about simulated reality. Physicists and computer scientists like Nick Bostrom are exploring it too. He's actually argued that it's quite possible, maybe even likely, that we're living in a super advanced computer simulation created by, well, a more advanced civilization.
Wait, are you serious? There are scientists who really think we could be living in, like, the Matrix? That's, I don't know, kind of scary, but also kind of cool.
It definitely makes you think. Bostrom's argument is that if a civilization gets advanced enough, they could create these hyper-realistic simulations.
Okay.
Maybe even simulations of their own ancestors.
So, like, there's some super advanced civilization out there, and they're running a simulation of us. With all of human history, everything that's ever happened, even, like, our individual consciousnesses.
That's the idea. And it brings up a ton of questions like, if this is all a simulation, what does that mean for free will? Could there be glitches, like in the movie?
Right, glitches in the Matrix. Okay, but hold on. You said that NDEs might offer clues that we're in a virtual reality. I'm not following. How?
Think about what people say about NDEs. They talk about seeing alternate realities, dimensions, time, being all fluid and weird, not linear like we experience it.
Okay.
Those things, they kind of line up with the idea of a simulation. Like, maybe the rules of our world aren't so fixed. Maybe they can be bent or even programmed.
Some of the NDE accounts you sent me describe people feeling like they were in another world, just as real as this one, but totally different.
Exactly.
Like jumping between channels on some cosmic TV.
And that feeling of switching between realities, it fits with the idea that consciousness might be able to exist in multiple virtual environments. Or even create its own simulations.
Whoa, now that is getting meta, like consciousness making simulations within simulations.
Infinite realities.
My brain hurts.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It is.
And here's something even wilder. Some physicists think that the universe itself, at its most basic level, might be pixelated.
Pixelated.
Yeah, like a computer screen.
You're telling me reality might have a resolution? Like, there's a limit to how much detail it can have.
It's a theory based on quantum mechanics. The idea is that there's a smallest possible unit of space and time, a kind of graininess to reality.
So if the universe is like a giant computer screen, would we even be able to see the pixels?
That's a good question. Maybe the resolution is so high that it just looks smooth and continuous to us. But maybe, just maybe, there are tiny clues, anomalies that could point to this pixelated structure.
This is a lot to process. I mean, if reality is a simulation, does that mean there's like a programmer, some super intelligence controlling it all?
People ask that a lot. There are a bunch of theories. Some say it could be aliens. Others say a higher dimensional being, maybe even a future version of ourselves.
Time travel.
Who knows? But the truth is, if there is an architect behind this simulation, we don't know who or what it is.
Okay, so we've gone deep into quantum physics, NDEs, and this wild idea that we're all living in a simulation. I feel like my brain is about to explode. What are some of the key things you think people should be thinking about after listening to all this?
Well, I think the main takeaway is that our understanding of consciousness and reality, it's not fixed. We're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
And what we're learning from quantum physics and NDEs is that consciousness might be way more fundamental to reality than we ever thought.
And that maybe reality itself isn't what we think it is. Maybe we're in a simulation so good that we can't even tell it's fake.
Right. It's a bit unsettling, but it also opens up these incredible possibilities. It makes you rethink life, death, everything.
It's definitely making me question everything I thought I knew. But I have to admit, it's kind of awe-inspiring, too.
How so?
I mean, if this is a simulation, whoever created it must be incredibly intelligent and creative.
I agree. And it raises even more questions. Why create this simulation? What's the point? Is there a way to, I don't know, break free? Or maybe even talk to the creators?
Those are some big, big questions, and I don't think we'll have the answers anytime soon.
Probably not. But just thinking about them can be a mind-expanding experience.
It definitely is. It makes you realize how much we don't know.
Exactly. It makes you appreciate the mystery and wonder that's still out there.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, like, about what's real, why we're here, what else is out there that we just can't even see. It's like we're trying to solve this giant puzzle, but we've only got a few pieces.
And what's so cool is that every new piece of information, every new idea we come across, It helps us see the bigger picture a little bit more clearly.
Yeah.
It's like we're on this journey of discovery, and the deeper we go, the more we realize how much we still don't know.
One thing I keep coming back to is, purpose. If we are living in a simulation, why? Like, what's it all for?
That's the big question, right?
It is.
We can guess, but no one knows for sure. Some people say maybe it's an experiment,
Yeah.
Some super intelligent beings are studying how consciousness evolves.
Interesting.
Others think it could be entertainment for them, like a cosmic video game or something.
Game?
Maybe. Who knows? But here's another thought, and it's one that I keep coming back to. What if the whole point of this simulation, if that's what it is to help us grow?
Grow.
Yeah, like to learn and evolve and expand our consciousness.
Oh, I like that.
It kind of fits with what people say about those NDEs, They talk about feeling connected to everything, about learning important lessons.
And, some of them even describe meeting these beings of light, these higher intelligences who offer guidance and wisdom. It's like they're mentors or something, helping us figure out this virtual world and reach our full potential.
It's funny you should say that. A lot of spiritual traditions talk about the same thing, about guides and angels and masters who help us along our spiritual journey.
So if that's all true, then death, it's not really the end, right?
Right.
Maybe it's more like transition, moving to another level of the simulation or to a whole other simulation.
That's a possibility worth thinking about. And a lot of different spiritual and philosophical traditions explore that idea.
So maybe death is just consciousness shifting, like graduating to a higher level of understanding? This is all just, wow. So many crazy possibilities. But it all comes back to consciousness, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's like the key to unlocking all these mysteries, whether it's the observer effect in quantum physics, those intense NDEs, or this whole idea that we're living in a simulation.
Consciousness seems to connect everything. And the more we learn about it, the more we realize just how powerful it is and how much it shapes our reality.
It's almost as we're living in a universe where imagination is the ultimate power. And by exploring these ideas, by questioning what we think we know, by opening our minds, we're tapping into that power. We're shaping reality in ways we don't even understand yet.
That's a powerful thought. And it means that we have more responsibility for the reality we create than we might realize. Every thought, every action, every choice we make, it all contributes to the bigger picture.
So after listening to all this, what should our listeners be taking away from this deep dive?
I think the most important thing is to hold on to that sense of wonder and possibility. We've barely scratched the surface of what's out there, and the universe is full of mysteries waiting for us to discover them.
It's like an invitation to be curious, to question everything, to keep pushing the boundaries of what we think we know.
Keep exploring. And maybe, most importantly, remember that we're not just watching this cosmic show. We're part of it. We're creating it. We have the power to shape our own lives and the world around us.
That's a great note to end on. It's been amazing exploring these mind-blowing ideas with you. To all our listeners out there, I hope this has inspired you to keep exploring, keep questioning, keep expanding your consciousness.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. Until next time, stay curious.
Please click like and then subscribe. Also share this video with your friends. Thank you.